Well, hello again, and welcome to Cluster 5 of your Qualification National Certificate in Business Administration Services. You're well on your way there. We're already halfway, another 4 more topics to go. In this cluster, we do have a lot to deal with. Let's take a look. Functions in a business environment. We'll deal with maintaining a secure working environment. Monitor and control office supplies. Monitor and control maintenance of office equipment. And ultimately, learn how to plan, monitor, and control an information system in business. Firstly, what is office administration? It is the recording, maintaining, and tracking of documents that provide information for business dealings and transactions. A well-run office ensures that work performance remains at constantly high levels and the result, happy and satisfied customers. As learnt in previous clusters, people have various functions in an organization. As an administrator, some of the functions will include receiving and collecting of information, word or mouth, this could be through technology, written communication, and then the sorting and classifying of the information by analysis, the content, and systematically arranging the information. Whether it must be sent to someone else for review, or further actions need to be taken, or whether you need to file it, or even you need to actually take action on it. Now, just to clarify, data is the raw form of information, and once it is processed, it becomes valuable information for a business. The information can be used to make business decisions, solve problems for a variety of reasons. So, it is important to process and interpret information by gathering the information and/or statistic, processing the data in a computer system, interpreting the results or the costing budget. Once information has been processed and the results obtained, it needs to be recorded for further reference and/or retrieval later. Communicating information either via email, telephone, paper, graphical presentation is essential in ensuring that valuable decisions can be made. Now let's take a look at an example that we learned about in Cluster 4. In Cluster 4, you had to develop a Rate My Service questionnaire to monitor the service to customers. The client filled in the questionnaire, and that is now data for you. Only once you take the questionnaire and evaluate what was said does it become information. Now, let's say the customer wasn't greeted friendly. That would now be information. Now you have something to act on. So you processed and interpreted the questionnaire, and now you need to communicate the results and come up with a solution to the information received from it. And one of the most important functions in an office is the protecting of the business finances. It's as much your responsibility as anyone else's and the organization's. It is important to work with integrity, good morals to ensure that stocks, the building, health and safety, as well as documents and equipment are handled with the utmost care. In Cluster 9, we deal with work ethics. Be on the lookout for good work ethics. A number of functions are involved in the service delivery of an administrator, ensuring performance of the person in the position. Let's take a look. Receiving and responding to email, processing and keeping of records, produce documents, arrange meetings, dealing with petty cash. All sorts of items like that become functions of the specific person. This will generally be communicated to you during your induction program, and you'll get a job description which will list all the functions that are in your job. In Cluster 1, we discussed the structure of teams and the reporting hierarchies. Each team member in the hierarchy has specific functions. Remember the inputs, tasks, and outputs that we discussed. For a clerical position like administration, the following duties include processing of orders, sales, receiving and responding to correspondence, filing, answering the telephone. This may only be a few that's mentioned. Make reference to your job description to ensure that all your duties are listed and that you're aware of them. In your organization, you may have one of the following job titles: administrative clerk, clerical officer, filing clerk, receptionist, administration officer. These titles are dependent on the organization and the structure of the organization. Then we get what we call secretaries, which is an administrative position, but it's a little bit more specialized than a normal administrative officer. Secretaries are assigned to a manager and or a team leader in an organization. This is where their role becomes different because they actually manage their manager and or team leader, whoever they have been assigned to, which is what makes it a little bit different to any other administrative position. In other administrative positions, you may only be involved with just the administration part of that specific task. One of the most important skills of any service provider or any employee for that matter is to be able to perform efficiently and have good time management. With that, you will need to be able to prioritize your work. Here are some guidelines to help you prioritize work. Write down all the appointments and tasks for a day or week. Prioritize your goals, which are most important. Remember to take the organization into consideration when doing so. Write down everything you need to do, categorize it into different categories, rank the importance of the tasks, rank the urgency of the tasks, compare all the tasks and the order lists, do one thing at a time and see it through to completion. Cross tasks off the list as you complete them. This will help give you a sense of relief because you can see progress, and as humans we need to see progress. Otherwise, we will just be overwhelmed with work and work and work. If we mark it off as we're going along, we can actually see progress, and this is generally motivation. Remember to make good time management. Be a good time manager. If you say a task must take you 15 minutes, time yourself in terms of that 15 minutes and make sure it doesn't take you longer. If it does, go back, reevaluate and see why it didn't take you so long, why it took you so long. In cases where you're not maybe using electronic devices to actually perform the tasks, try and get a little bit of knowledge in terms of what tools you can use to do the task faster. And this is generally what computers do. They help us do tasks faster. There's no difference between a computer application and doing it by hand, except that the time that it takes to do each is different. Hand is often longer, computer is much quicker. And that's a wrap for Cluster 5, Topic 1, Functions within a business environment. Functions in an office involve the continuous sending and receiving of information in different forms. A well-run office means well-organized business and successful business dealings. An administrator has a number of different job titles. They should be well organized with an attitude of attention to detail. A secretary differs somewhat from an administrator in that they are usually assigned to one or two individuals in the organization. Good time management and prioritizing of work is important to remain organized.